ก็สวัสดีน้องๆอีกทุกคนอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะพี่ชื่อพี่นิ่มเนาะเป็นพี่แนะแนวจาก CASC นะคะซึ่งทางศูนย์พี่เนี่ยค่ะเป็นศูนย์เรียนต่อประเทศจีนและก็ไต้หวันเนาะวันนี้เนี่ยเดี๋ยวเรามีอาจารย์จากมหาวิทยาลัย Southern University of Science and Technology หรือเรียกชื่อย่อที่เราเป็นที่รู้จักกันนะคะก็คือ CASC เนาะมาช่วยแนะนำเรานะคะเกี่ยวกับรายละเอียดในการสมัครต่างๆให้กับน้องๆนะคะผู้ที่สนใจเนาะเดี๋ยวก่อนอื่นเนี่ยเดี๋ยวเรามาทำความรู้จักกันว่า CASC เนี่ยเป็นมหาวิทยาลัยอยู่ที่ไหนอะไรยังไงนะคะสำหรับที่นี่นะคะเป็นมหาวิทยาลัยท็อป 9 ของมหาวิทยาลัยที่ดีที่สุดในประเทศจีนเลยนะคะตั้งอยู่ในเมืองเซินเจิ้นนะคะเป็นเขตเศรษฐกิจพิเศษด้วยของจีนนะคะซึ่งนับเป็นเขาให้ชื่อว่าเป็นซิลิคอนวัลเลย์ of Asia เลยเนาะมีความโดดเด่นนะคะด้านสาขาวิศวกรรมศาสตร์นะคะวิทยาศาสตร์และเทคโนโลยีอีกทั้งยังมีสาขาที่น่าสนใจมากมายเลยอย่างเช่น AI Big Data นะคะหุ่นยนต์รวมถึงสมุดศาสตร์เหล่านี้เป็นต้นนะคะซึ่งเป็นสาขาที่น่าสนใจมากๆเลยเนาะซึ่งถือว่าเนี่ยเป็นโอกาสที่ดีเลยสำหรับน้องๆที่เรียนสายวิทย์คณิตนะคะอยากเรียนเกี่ยวกับสาขาแนวนี้นะคะเป็นสาขาที่น่าสนใจและเป็นมหาวิทยาลัยที่น่าสนใจมากๆเลยเนาะและที่สำคัญไปกว่านั้นนะคะCASC เนี่ยยังเป็นมหาวิทยาลัยที่เติบโตเร็วที่สุดแห่งหนึ่งของประเทศจีนอีกด้วยอันนี้เป็น point สำคัญเลยเนาะเดี๋ยวเพื่อไม่ให้เป็นการเสียเวลานะคะระหว่างนี้เนาะเดี๋ยวถ้าอาจารย์เข้ามาแล้วเดี๋ยวอาจารย์จะ presentation ให้กับเรานะคะหลังจากที่อาจารย์ present จบน้องๆคนไหนที่มีคำถามนะคะสามารถที่จะยกมือแล้วก็เปิดไมค์ถามได้เลยนะแล้วก็หรือว่าน้องๆคนไหนที่แบบไม่กล้ายกมือถามสามารถแชทสอบถามพี่ๆทาง inbox ได้เลยเดี๋ยวพี่ๆจะช่วยสอบถามอาจารย์ให้นะคะหรือว่าหลังจากนี้น้องๆคนไหนที่อยากสอบถามเพิ่มเติมหรือมีคำถามหรืออยากสมัครนะคะสามารถที่จะแชท inbox ไปทาง Line ID ของพี่ๆ CASC ได้เลยนะคะ Line ID @CASC เดี๋ยวพี่นิ่มจะทิ้งLine ID ไว้ที่แชทinbox ไว้ให้นะคะน้องๆคนไหนสนใจก็ inbox หาพี่ๆได้เลยโอเคอาจารย์น่าจะเข้ามาแล้วนะคะเดี๋ยวต่อจากนี้ให้อาจารย์พรีเซนต์เลยเนาะเดี๋ยวเราไปเริ่มกันเลยค่ะ
老师好，您那边准备好了吗，老师？如果好了，就可以开始了，老师。น้องๆรออาจารย์เตรียมความพร้อมสักครู่นะคะ
Well, can you hear me? Sorry. Sorry. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just a sec. I have to turn on my microphone. What about now? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's great. All right, just a sec. I'm going to share my screen using my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, can everyone see my? Can everyone?
Yeah. Seen it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. All right, my name is Isaac. I'm from Southern University of Science and Technology. I'm the mission officer. Been working here since 2016. It's almost the 7 years. My first job here is to recruit students, and I just stick to the job. Yeah, well, in the past almost 7 years. First up, we always ask ourselves in my mission team that why the student would choose us, what we can provide to all of our students, and what the students might expect to study, to get, to acquire during their study on our campus. So today I'm going to walk you through these reasons. Okay, first up, what makes us unique? Okay, well, CASC is a university that kind of comes with a duty of paving a new way for China, China's higher education. It's quite different from all the institutions that were established in the past. It is new, it is innovative, and it's pioneering. I'm going to explain more about it. So first up, let's start with the university's founding. This university was founded in 2011, despite it was projected early 2007, and then in 2011, the university was approved by the Shenzhen government, and then 1 year later, it was approved by the Ministry of Education of China. All right. So this university is not a private university. It is a state-owned university from Shenzhen, widely and world-recognized institution that can probably use it as a good bargain when it comes as a good credential when it comes to postgraduate application or doctorate degree application. Right. So you might want to know that the first president of this university was from the China University of Technology, Zhongke. So he was an extraordinarily extraordinarily prestigious scholar called Zhu Qingshu. If you can screen, that is him. He was the founding president of the university. He gave us a very high standard, a very high bar that allows the university to grow in an international level, the world-class level. For example, like the PI system, which is about research, the residential college system, which is about how the student coordinates, how the students living together and encourage or engage together in a place where students in a college where students from different backgrounds are living and encourage each other. And then in 2015, we have another president called Chen Shiyi. He used to work in Peking University, and by the time he arrived here, he brought another fresh ideology of running a university, and that was the time when CASC started to progress rapidly. And in 2018, we see CASC was ranked by Times Higher Education as number 8 among all the units in mainland China, which was remarkable. You see, by that year, this university is just about 7 years old, and it was recognized by Times Higher Education as a world-class university that ranked the 8th in mainland China. It's just unimaginable for any university that achieves such a remarkable rankings within such a short time. So when you introduce CASC to your counterparts, once you are a CASC taker here, you may pretty much tell them that this is a highly ranked university here in China. It's in top 10 by THE. Okay, and then the Nature Index, right, as one of the world's top 50 in the Nature Index annual table 2021. Well, you may not have an idea what the Nature Index is. Well, it is a ranking that kind of tells the world that how your academic influence is around the world. All right. So it's about how your academic influence, your research capability, how they rank throughout the world, how these two factors perform internationally. All right. So CASC is ranked in top 50. That is remarkable. That means all the outputs, all the academic outputs are always sourced, are always refereed across the world. Okay, moving on. Right. Now I'm going to tell you another key feature of this university. All right, another key feature. So this one is called student and faculty ratio. If you visit many of the counterparts here in China, the student to faculty ratio is normally more than 50 against 1. That means one professor against 50 students. But here at CASC, it's about 3.5 against 1. It's extraordinarily important because of the fact how much academic resources or even the entertainment resources you have access to. Due to the small number of the students here on the campus, all the students can be catered well. All the students can be paid attention to from the professors, from the faculty, from the administrative team, like me. Well, also, this is also true. This is also the same for international students. Just as is to the Chinese student, you're all the same. You won't be treated differently. Which I'm going, which from this part, I can talk about with the integration system here at CASC. All the Chinese and international counterparts are living in the same place, facing the same academic requirements. You guys are living together. You guys are having food together. Have the very academic requirements in the very same way. That gives that's way different from many of the universities here in China in the north, because many of them are putting international students in one place, while the Chinese students are staying in different accommodation. But here at CASC, it's all the same. All right, and that also, I have to say that I'm going to admit it also posed a huge challenge to many of the international students who have to adapt more in terms of that, in terms of academic life and, of course, your social life, everyday life. Okay. Right. Moving on. So CASC features at a glance. The 40% of the senior faculty are overseas citizens. This is an international university where the overseas citizens make a quiet account for the percentage of the university's faculty. And 95% of the faculty members have overseas study or work experience. 45 papers are international collaborative efforts. These are the indicators that you might rather find it difficult to witness from other universities here in China. Okay, the very last one, 100% institutional support for study abroad. It's the same for international student and the domestic counterparts. If you study here, you have one chance to be sponsored by this university to study abroad. Well, the sponsorship, the amount of the sponsorship may start from say from 20,000 RMB to 120,000 RMB. All right. Okay, CASC at forefront in China built a modern university, recruiting top talents, innovate and advanced undergraduate admission system, foster international standard bilingual education. Speak of that. 32 out of 38 majors can be taught in English. That means most of the majors are available for international students. All right, the world-class research faculties, close integration with industry, campus internationalization. You barely have to speak Chinese to survive within the campus. Okay, ranking performance, which I just mentioned. I'll just skip this part. And education rate, next part, the education research and impact. Okay, this is that academic structure, School of Science, Engineering, Life Science, Medicine, Business School, Humanities, and Social Sciences, even School of Design. Right. Well, the whole person education, liberal arts plus research intensiveness. But first of all, I have for this part, I would have the first mention about our general education system. When you have to take general classes for the first year, and by the end of the first year or the start of the second year, you're allowed to claim, you're able to claim majors, and that all depends on what majors you want. That means you have 1 year to decide what you want to study for your major, to make an informed choice. Okay, study abroad opportunities, as I mentioned earlier. You can be sponsored partially to study to be a part of the study abroad opportunities. Okay, and now let me go to our admission part. So international students. The international student assistant. My job is to recruit international students and provide services in terms of the visas and the resident permit, and also provide cultural communication services while you are here. So in 2016, we only had six international students, all of them from Cambodia. They've graduated, and all of them ended quite well. About 50% of them, 3 of them go for further study, and the other 3 go for work. And in 2017, we have 18 students, and one of a great example of alumni is the lady here called Chen Jinjin. She was a great student, and she ended up with offers from
Sorry, teacher.
Shopee.
Sorry for bothering. Now we can see your screen right now. So you stop sharing, right?
Just a sec. I think still there. Just a sec. Just a sec. Oh, yeah. Can I see it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, great. So the international student missions. Okay. So these are this is the lady I just mentioned about. She comes from Malaysia, and she ended up with offers from United Overseas Banks, banks, Shopee, and Malaysia. I think she graduated from the major of finance, and now we have about 100 international students from 33 countries. All right. For the undergraduate, we have 54 now. It's not that a huge number, but most of the international students are rather quality international students. Perhaps not appropriate to say that, but they went through our admission process by joining the online test, the online interview, and finally got an offer to study with us. It's a quite selective process. So the admission rate overall is 3.6%. That means 100 student applicants, only 3.6 of them can be admitted. Right, next one, President's Scholarship. If you are offered a place to study with us, you're automatically in the list for Presidential Scholarship. It's about $10,000 a year, including tuition fee, stipend, housing, visa, insurance, and health check. All right, you barely have to spend any money. And sure, and how much you spend will highly depends on what you want to spend and what situation is when you come over. We just want to remove the financial burden to our international students when it comes to study. All right, we want you guys to entirely focus on your life here without worrying too much about the financial issues. It's one of the great packages offered here in China. It's very rare, and it's quite competitive. So you have to get ready for our admission process. Right, undergraduate programs, we have 34 for now. So I guess the PPT does not demonstrate quite well in terms of its format in my phone, but you can visit our admission page. The admission process for now, we are in the third round of the admission process, and you might have to submit your application before May. It would be nice if you do that. Still to catch up with the very last round. And then you will be able to get your offer in late May, and then visas in June, and enrollment in August. Okay, the general requirement: you have to be a foreign citizen, of course, in good health conditions, and you have to meet the requirements of stipulated in the number 12 document issued by Ministry of Education of the Republic of China. If you were born a Thai, then don't worry about this part. Okay, if you are under 18, so pay attention to this part. If you're under 18, you might have to get a authorization letter when you are offered a place to study with us. You don't have to provide that letter until you are offered a place. Okay, so don't have to worry about the online test or interview. Okay, required documents: passport, personal statement, high school diploma, and certificate of studying. All right, required documents. These are all the information. This information can be found. This information can be found from the mission page or just talk to our partner. Test the online. You will take an online test. Which includes the mathematics and physics. Each of which takes 2 hours. And then, if you pass it, you're going to go through an online interview. And with the parts of that, you are the conditional offer holder of CASC. All right. So this is the introduction of system admissions. And if you have a question, please you may leave it through the chat bar of Zoom. Okay.
น้องๆคนไหนมีคำถามไหมคะถ้ามีคำถามพิมพ์ลงในแชทบอกให้อาจารย์ได้เลยนะคะ
If you have any questions, please leave a message. Sorry, I can't see your screen. Okay. Thanks. Anything else?
Sure. Everyone
Yes.
has to like take entrance exam, right? Everyone needs to, right?
Yes, everyone.
Even they have like SAT score.
Even though,
Cannot
yes,
be.
that
Yeah, oh, okay.
right. Even so, despite SAT score, with only SAT, one still has to take the online classes, online test.
Okay,
If it's
thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Let me ask them. มีน้องๆคนไหนมีคำถามไหมคะถามมาได้เลยนะ Teacher, what about scholarship?
Yeah, the scholarship has been mentioned within my introduction. It's called presidential scholarship, which offers about $10,000 a year, including tuition fee and every month monthly stipend.
Okay, but if the applicant got the scholarship, does the applicant need to pay tuition in advance? They have to like pay for got scholarship, right?
The money will say for this part, the tuition fees will be wired to the student's account, and with which they would have to use that money to pay for tuition.
Okay,
It's not
thank
waived,
you.
but we'll get money into their account.
Okay, thank you. สำหรับถ้าสมมติว่าถ้าน้องๆคนไหนได้ทุนนะคะก็คือจะต้องแบบจ่ายค่าเทอมไปก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวเขาจะให้ทุนตามมาทีหลังในบัญชีธนาคารของเราอะค่ะ
This is the third round of admissions, so it's highly recommended that all the applicants submit their submissions before May. We have a Thai
Okay.
student last year. We have a Thai student last year, and this year, last year, he registered in September. He was the first one, the first undergraduate Thai student, and he had a really wonderful. He had a really great time here, and so if it's possible, I'll see if I can invite him for another info session sometime. If we can host another one, then.
Before the end of May, right?
Yeah, but it would be nice if the applications can be made before May.
Okay, thank you. ตอนนี้นะคะสำหรับการสมัครที่ซันเห็นเนาะตอนนี้เป็นรอบที่3แล้วนะคะอาจารย์เขาแนะนำว่าถ้าน้องๆคนไหนสนใจนะคะก็อาจารย์แนะนำว่าให้สมัครก่อนเดือนพฤษภาคมนะคะก่อนสิ้นเดือนได้จะดีที่สุดค่ะมีใครมีคำถามอีกไหมคะ พิมพ์มาได้เลยนะคะ หรือว่าจะเปิดไมค์คุยกับอาจารย์ก็ได้ค่ะ เดี๋ยวพี่จะให้เวลาอีกสักแป๊บนึงเนาะเดี๋ยวถ้าไม่มีแล้วเดี๋ยวเราจะได้จบไลฟ์กันนะคะ
Yeah, you see, many of the scholarship is rather rare across the whole China, especially in southern China with in a university that ranks quite well in the world. It'd be really nice if the students can submit their application soon. Otherwise, if let's say the number of the scholarship, it's somehow limited. Well, pretty much by the end of if the submissions made later, submissions are made later than the beginning of May, we may not offer the scholarship any longer. So just pretty much do it as soon as you can. I can also disclose the admission, the rate of the passing rate of the online test takers. It's about 65%. So if you take an online test, 65% of the students can pass. It's not that difficult. And if a student wants to learn anything about it, just go to admission page. The download section, there is a document with syllabus of what is going to be tested.
Teacher, one more question. Yeah, just a second. Can the applicant with GED diploma apply for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. So, however, by the time I get you a visa, or by the time you register with us, you have to demonstrate that you have graduated. All right. We don't care whether it's the certificate that you just talked about. I think I heard it before, but it's fine as long as it's the same level as a senior school diploma. Then it's fine.
Okay, thank you. สำหรับน้องๆคนไหนมีสอบจบเป็นวุฒิ ED มาทางมหาลัยก็รับเช่นกันนะคะน่าจะไม่มีคำถามอะไรแล้วเนาะTeacher, I think there's no more questions, so thank you so much for today.
All right. Thank you for organizing this. Rather too happy to help. If you got questions, you can send emails to my partner or to my email. All right, then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.